I go over graphing quadratics. I'm going to show you how to start with an equation, and we're going to use our calculators to get a table, okay, so that we can graph. So first equation I want you to write down is this one right here. Y equals x squared plus 2x plus 1. Yeah, I would write it on another sheet of paper, your equation and your table, and then put your graph on your graph paper. Alright, in order to graph in your calculator, you have to solve for y. Good. So this equation is already solved for y. The y has to be positive, right? And this equation is. So all we need to do in our calculator, if we're on the scratch pad, let's go to your graph, and we're going to put in that equation. So what was it? X squared. What was it? Plus 2x plus 1. Okay, hit enter. X squared is this little key right here. Alright, first thing I'm going to show you. When we're getting a table, we really want to have the vertex on that table. Okay, and we want our points. So if this is my vertex here, I want points that are to the left of my vertex, and I want points to the right. So I'm going to show that curve on my graph, right? So the calculator will show you your vertex. The only thing you have to figure out is, does this graph have a minimum or a maximum? It has a minimum. We're going to the bottom of the roller coaster and coming back up, right? So we're going to go to menu. We're going to go down to analyze. And we're going to go to minimum. And hit enter. Now, does everybody see this dotted line that's moving on their graph? Don't click anything. You can move it side to side with your cursor, right? It's asking you for the lower bound. All you want to do is you want to start off on the left side, put that dotted line on the left side, and then you're going to hit this little middle click button. So move it over there, and then pick your finger up and hit the click button once. Now, if you move your cursor now, there should be a shaded area. Does everybody see that? You want to move that shaded area, you want to move over to the right so that you're actually highlighting the minimum. And then you want to click again. Hit that middle click button. When you hit that, it's going to drop your vertex right there. Everybody see what I'm talking about? Okay, so that's actually the point we want to put in the middle of our table. So to get our table with the calculator, we do Control T. And we want to actually put that point -1, 0 in the middle of our table. So it's right here. Now if you look, you've got 1, 1, 4, 4. So this was the middle point, right? I want you to try to always have at least 5 points. If you can put more, like if -4, 9 will fit, put that on there too. The more points, the more accurate it looks. Okay? So I want you to copy this table down, and I want you to plot it on your graph, and then connect your lines. Make sure you're putting arrows on the ends, because this parabola keeps getting bigger and bigger. Let's clear our graph. So we have Doc B clear. And let's go look at the next one. Okay, I've got y equals 9 minus x squared. What is wrong with this equation? When I'm looking at it, what looks odd about it? Negative x squared should be first. It's not in standard form, right? So let's go ahead and fix that. This should be y equals what? Plus 9. Good. And my y is by itself and it's positive, right? So then let's graph this. So negative x squared plus 9. Does everybody's graph look like mine? Can we see the vertex? Okay, there are two options that we can do. One option is we can go to Menu, we can go to Window Zoom, and go down to Zoom Fit. That's going to show us our vertex. Or if you want, okay, and I'm still going to do it, I like to hit Control Click because it gives you that little hand there, right? And I like to move it down so it's in the middle. And if we hit Control Click again, it'll release it. You see what I'm saying? So you can just kind of pull it around if you want to. Doc B. Doc B will clear it. Are you in Scratchpad? Okay. Alright, now we want to get the vertex, so I'm going to go Menu. Then what? Analyze graph, and then maximum. Good, this one has a maximum. So go to the left, click, shade the maximum, and then click again. Did everybody get 0, 9? Okay, so let's get our table. So I'm going to do Control T. Oh, not Control Space, Control T. So I want 0, 9 to be in the middle. It looks like we got some other points that'll fit though, right? So here's our vertex. On the outside we've got 8, 8, 5, 5. So copy it on your table, plot your points, and then draw your graph. Remember to do arrows. Arrows on the ends. Alright, let's clear this. So Doc B. Okay, next equation. Y equals negative x squared minus x minus 4. Is there anything I need to do to this equation? So we want to change the y to negative? Y has to be positive, so we don't need to change anything. Okay. So negative x squared. Make sure you're using the minus key after that. So minus x. What is it? Minus 4. Okay, I'm going to move this up a little bit. You don't have to if you don't want to. Let's find that vertex. So menu, analyze, which one? Maximum. So left click, right click.
Doesn't matter what we start in.
No. As long as we all get the same maximum. As long as you have the maximum highlighted. Okay, did everybody get a decimal here? Okay. So what does that mean for the table it's going to give us? Is it going to be on there? No, they're not going to be on there, right? So my x value, negative 0.5, that's between what two numbers? 1 and 0?
Oh, negative.
Negative 1 and 0, right? So if I click Control T, and I go between negative 1 and 0, if I look here, these happen to come out the same number, right? Is a parabola going to be flat on the bottom? No, it's a curve, right? So just because the table is giving you two numbers, you don't ever want to draw it flat on the top or bottom. We know the vertex is a decimal, so it's actually going to go up a little bit and come back down. So make sure when you're drawing that, if you want to put the vertex in your table, you can put it in your table when you're writing it down. Or when you're graphing it, you know there's a little curve there. It's not ever going to be flat, all right? So go ahead and draw your picture. Alright, so everybody's graph should look similar to this, correct? Yes? Alright. Next problem. Y minus x squared minus 4x equals negative 7. Okay, what's wrong here? Y is not by itself. Right now, the y is positive. Do we want to move it? No. So what do we need to move? The negative x squared. How would I do that? So I would do positive x squared to give me a 0 pair, right? And positive x squared over here. And what else? Positive 4x on this side and positive 4x over here. So that my new equation is y equals x squared plus 4x minus 7. Very good. So that's what we want to put in, x squared plus 4x minus 7. Oh, not here. Right? So you can either drag and move it, or you can do the zoom fit. Whichever you prefer. Is this one going to have a minimum or a maximum? Minimum. Did everyone get the vertex negative 2, negative 11? Yes. Perfect. Okay, go get the table. Put your vertex in the middle, and then write your points down. You're going to draw your graph. Make sure you're using arrows. All right, let's clear. Next problem is 3x squared plus y equals x plus 5. What needs to happen here?
Subtract 3x squared.
Good. Subtract 3x squared. My y is positive where it's at, so we're just going to leave it there. So my new equation will be y equals, ooh, is it a race? Negative 3x squared plus x plus 5. Put that in, get your vertex, and get your table, and then graph. Does it have a minimum or maximum? Good. Ooh, it's another decimal. All right. What does the x fall between? 1 and 2? It says 0.167. So 0 and 1, right? Okay, if I'm looking at this table here now, is everybody looking what I'm looking at? It doesn't exactly look like an Oreo cookie, right? Where it's got the middle and then or like a sandwich. It's not really sandwiched, is it? So we've got these 3 positive y's, and that's about it, right? And then over here we've got our vertex. So this one's a little off, right? So we want to plot these points. We want to try and plot this vertex, try and estimate as best as you can. But when you start plotting these points on there, you'll see that it's going to make a parabola. It's just not, the points you have are not going to be symmetrical. You see what I'm saying? But those plots, it's going to look similar to the picture here. Alright? So go ahead and plot these points that you're given. Put as many on there as you can. Alright, we ready for the last one? Okay, let's clear this. Last problem. I've got x squared plus 4x equals y plus 5. What needs to happen here? Subtract 5? Why would you subtract 5? Because y is already over there and it's positive, right? So let's subtract 5 from both sides. So I've got x squared plus 4x minus 5 equals y. So on my graph now, all I need to put is x squared plus 4x minus 5. I need to move it. Does it have a minimum or maximum? Minimum. Did we all get the vertex, -2, -9? Good. So hit Control T, put that -2, -9 in the middle, and there's our little sandwich right there. You see it? Plot these points. Make sure you're drawing your arrows at the end.